The most genius kidnapping in history. I have no idea what this is about. Ellie has been telling me to watch this for a while now, and I'm excited. I don't know what to expect from it, so let's just hop in.
Wednesday, November 9th, 1983. The CEO of Heineken walks in the entrance of his Amsterdam office.
Okay, I'm sorry. As soon as you say that this took place like 1983, I'm like, did we even have security cameras back then? So I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
It's almost 7 p.m.
Do you have proof? I don't believe you.
Doderer is waiting outside. Two women step out before him. Heineken is the last to leave.
So wait, is this the guy that made the beer? Like Heineken as in the beer? Type of content, I recommend it to you because it's an entertaining way to talk about interesting things that happened throughout history. I mean, I like the Jack the Killer thing. I actually still think that it's two people. I think that that's like the only way that it could have been done.
He shuts the door.
Or not Jack the Killer, the Jack the Ripper.
Around for his armored Cadillac, but it's not there. Doderer is parked further away than usual. As he steps onto the sidewalk, he gets grabbed by the back of his suit jacket. One woman screams, pulling on the assailant's sleeve. Two other men approach, and one sprays the woman in the face with tear gas. The other waves a handgun around. Heineken drops to the ground. The two men try to drag him away, but he struggles. He yells for his driver Ab, who is already coming to his aid. But before the driver can reach him, a fourth man intercepts Doderer, and they begin to struggle. Heineken is forced into the back of an orange van. Ab is thrown in after him.
We gotta sit here trying to decide for an hour. Oh, wait, no, I read that, sorry.
Cold hard floor of the vehicle. Their hands and feet are shackled. Their heads are covered with taped over motorcycle helmets. Darkness swallows them. 90 minutes later, a package arrives at a small police station in The Hague. In it is a letter that demands millions for the safe return of the CEO of Heineken and his chauffeur. One of the most extensively planned kidnappings in European history has begun. The kidnapping planned for more than 2 years.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
And the largest ransom ever demanded in Europe. This is the story of the kidnapping of Freddie Heineken.
Freddie Heineken. Wait, so is it Heineken as in the beer company? Is that what this is? Because I don't know any other Heinekens. I don't know any other Heinekens. Oh, that is an awful... There we go.
This video was sponsored by Udo, and it was only made possible by the research done by the late Peter R. de Vries, where he interviewed the perpetrators directly, as well as the Panorama Misdaad dossier. Direct quotes from these books will be denoted on screen. Also, a special thanks to Tyler and Garian. It's New Year's Day, 1981, 2 years before the kidnapping. A man is driving to meet his best friends
hell
in
no.
the hideout. It's almost midnight, and he's running late. He pulls into the street and parks outside. The apartment is on the second floor of the 99 Van Halstraat. They named the hideout after the flower shop.
Wait, where did this happen? Did it say where this happened? Where did this take place? Like in Russia? Oh, in Europe. Oh, I'm stupid.
Below it. Paradise. He sees two familiar cars, a red Saab Turbo and a bronze Mercedes. Two of his friends are already here. He enters the building and climbs the stairs, walking through an already open door. They're lounging
La Bubugyat Ohio Riz. What else is there among 6-7 brain rot?
On leather armchairs. They're
I'm not even gonna bother talking about that. Coffee's too smart. I know.
Town is playing quietly on the TV. Soon the clock strikes
Demod me.
No, I won't let you get away that easily.
midnight, and he clears his throat.
Gentlemen, we're gonna kidnap him.
Look, over the last few years, the four of us have done some good business, and sometimes earn decent money. We drive smart cars, carry thick wallets, go on nice vacations.
What is a smart car back in the 83s? What is a smart car? Like a car that still runs on like fossil oil?
And can always buy around in the bar.
You cannot convince me that electricity existed back then. Yeah, try a better one, buddy.
On the surface, nothing is wrong. but I feel we have been picking up scraps. The banks are being difficult and the taxman is annoying. The market is collapsing and interest rates are high. Even the construction business has gone bankrupt.
Bro, the second a friend of mine pulls up to my crib with the antagonist like speech, I'm like, I'm in. 1.3 seconds, I'm in.
In short, I'm asking myself, what are we doing? Our cars will be gone, our horses will be off the course, and our boats out of the water. Everything gone. Is that what we want? Can we allow that? Well, I'll tell you straight
Can
out,
we allow that? I don't know why that's funny to me.
I would rather
I'm not gonna allow it.
die. I believe that the time has come for us to take an important decision. A shot at all or nothing. To hatch a plan that will solve
So I've come up with the plan to kidnap the president of Heineken.
all of our problems in one go. Permanently. And I mean permanently. This group eventually became a team of 5.
I'm putting together a
Man's
team.
Cor van Hout. His friends
We're
call him
in.
Flip or Flipper for his childhood obsession with pinball. He is a notorious horse gambler
What?
and owns real estate across Amsterdam. He is the mastermind behind Operation Heineken.
Can I IRL word ban every word in English and make you only speak Portuguese? I mean, you could, yeah. But he's definitely onto something. He's definitely on to something. I thought you said on to something. Bro, I'm sorry. If my friend pulls up to my like apartment or whatever and he's like, times have been rough. We have to do something about this. And I have a plan to change our lives for the better permanently. I'm like, okay. He's either cooking or he's burning it.
And is 26 years old. Sitting on the couch is his right-hand man, Willem Holleder. He's muscular. His nickname
Willem.
is the Nose, for no apparent reason. He's
The
25 years
nose?
old.
Well, because he's like Tanjiro, he can smell blood from like 3 miles away. I can smell a crime.
Next to Willem, Franz Meyer nods in agreement. He's one of Cor's oldest friends. His nickname, the Professor.
From
Nothing gets past him.
Magic the Gathering? He's 30? Is that what he said? He's 99.9% burning it, yeah.
The fourth member that
It's
will eventually
already
join
burned.
is Jan Boulaert. Although he was missing that night, he's a crucial part of the gang. His nickname is the Cat, because he always tilts his head while he listens. He is the oldest in the group at age 31, and is extremely handy with tools. The last member that will join is Cor's younger half-brother Martin, who everyone refers to as Brakes.
Brakes? Because he's
The
driving?
youngest and also the most clueless of the group. But he's skilled at stealing cars. The
Brakes?
orange Renault van drives off. Jan Boulaert is behind the wheel. In the passenger seat is Franz Meyer. Cor and Willem are in the back, standing over
What do you want me to tweet, Fresca?
On the Weteringschans, the Nose looks in the rearview mirror and notices an off-white Mercedes taxi following them. But they're unfazed. They had planned their escape route.
I'll tweet that after the video is done. That's fine.
They would ride past Frederiksplein, the Servatiestraat, and the Amstelbrug.
Can you speak not whatever that tongue is?
Eventually turning right onto the Weesperzijde, which would bring them onto the A10
Ah,
highway,
of course, the British Gezeide, of course.
where they take the exit onto the Basisweg towards their holding location. But to get to Frederiksplein, they had to cross a major obstacle. This is the Weteringschans.
That's not how that works,
intersection.
Fresca.
If they were forced to come to a stop here, they'd be sitting ducks. So in preparation, Brakes had learned how to hack traffic light boxes. He would look out for the orange van, and in case they encountered a red light, would quickly change it to a flashing orange, giving them right of way. A great idea, but this night was different.
Wait, you can do that? You can just do that? How do you do that? You can just you just know how to hack into... Okay.
On the way to kidnapping Heineken,
Sick.
they spotted 15 uniformed police officers doing routine traffic stops at the intersection. They were forced to take a gamble. They couldn't risk Martin
Gambling.
fooling around at the traffic light box and getting spotted. They told him to go home earlier. Now, the Weteringschans intersection was the most risky part of the entire drive, and they didn't even know that the taxi driver behind them had notified his superiors, who had forwarded that information immediately to the police.
Uh-huh.
It was the worst possible time to have to stop in front of a group of police officers. But when they arrive at the intersection, the police are gone. Willem tells Bernard to run the red light. Whoa, whoa. Not so fast there, buddy.
Who's that?
What I want to do is take a bit of your time to talk about Udo. Does that sound good?
Oh, is this ad?
Great. Udo is the best business management software on the
Ads.
planet. As opposed to multiple monthly subscriptions.
Ads.
What's a website? Whoa.
This is back in the, oh my god, that's back in the 80s.
They cross the Amstel and turn onto Tulplein. The next phase of their plan begins.
The internet doesn't exist back in the 80s. You
Underneath
can't
the
fool
Toronto
me.
Bridge is a bike tunnel. Earlier, they had removed a bollard, allowing them to drive through the first entrance of the tunnel. The plan
what?
is to block it with the van. But the taxi is still behind them, so they don't stop in the middle, but drive forward. The men exit the vehicle quickly. In haste, Cord drops a duffel bag filled with Uzis and ammunition, and smashes a pair of glasses on his way out. Bull later walks towards the taxi driver with gun in hand, who gets the message, quickly backs up, and drives off.
Scare him off, yeah.
Heineke is transferred into a white Citroën GS, parked conveniently on the other side of the tunnel. Von Hout takes Doderer and puts him in the back of a second car, a Renault 20.
What? Wait, what? What?
Willem hops in.
What? Okay, what is going on? This is, I'm
They
confused.
drive to the A10 Beltway, passing the Die, and take the turn off Havensvest towards the industry terrain, the Heining. The men pull into the open doors of a steel.
This is some sick visuals, though. Can I just say? This reminds me of Fears to Fathom, like the same art style. They transferred them to a new car to avoid the.
Can I make you into a new Tao?
I don't know what that is.
and close them.
It's hard. Coffee is hard. Bullying the 1980s.
Production took no more than
We did not have anything back in the 1980s. I say we like I was born in the 1980s. There was nothing in the 1980s. You can barely convince me that cars were a thing. I find it hard to believe.
The captives' clothes are burned except for IDs and Heineken's watch. They head back to their favorite bars in Amsterdam to build an alibi. It's 90 minutes after the kidnapping. At a small police station in The Hague,
Wait, okay. You go to a bar to build an alibi so that like if you get caught, you can be like, no, and I was at the bar during this time. So it couldn't have been me. But wouldn't like the guy at the bar be like, oh yeah, no, I saw them come in at like 10 p.m. after like the crime had already been committed?
an anonymous package is dropped off. It contains a Dutch letter written on German paper along with the passport and ID of Ab Doderer and the watch of Freddie Heineken. They demand a ransom. All publicity must be stopped and searching is prohibited. They request thousands of banknotes in various
You can do that,
currencies and
Fresca. Go ahead.
in order to make tracing more difficult and spending easier. The banknotes must have been circulated several times and randomly numbered. The banknotes are to be secured with 2 elastic bands and packs of 100 and placed into 5 Dutch mail bags. They end the letter with further instructions for the handoff. Once the police have complied with all demands, they must signal the kidnappers by placing a message in a newspaper. The meadow is green for the hare. For future negotiations, the police will be referred to as the hare, the kidnappers the eagle. A 72-hour countdown begins. While the police had no time to prepare, the kidnappers had years. The police are
That's
flailing.
kind of cool.
They need more time and take a bold risk, one that could cost the victims their lives.
Bro, but the fact that you spent like 2 years planning this is actually kind of hard. This is some movie type, bro. This is so sick. Like, I can't even be mad. Like, I know that they're like the bad guys. They kidnapped the president, but like, can you bro? That's, you gotta admit, it's kind of sick.
Freddie Heineken snaps awake as the door to his padded cell opens. He's lying under a blanket on a bare mattress, wearing a set of cotton pajamas. In the corner, there's a chemical toilet without any chemicals, a safety precaution.
A chemical toilet? What is a chemical toilet? I'm not like Walter White. I don't know like chemistry. What is a chemical toilet?
Music is playing from a tape deck endlessly looping the same album and masking any outside noise.
Uh-huh.
The cells are located in the back of a 38 by 9 meter Romney shed. The shed is located on an industrial estate outside of Amsterdam and is owned by the kidnappers. Normally,
Sick.
it's used as a workshop and filled with tools, but the shed now also contains
What?
a camper van used as a base by the kidnappers. Within the shed, Freddie Heineken and the chauffeur are nowhere to be found. Virtually impossible to see is the hidden double door on the back wall. It leads to a short hallway with a 3.2 by 7.8 meter cell on either side. Built exclusively out of construction materials bought from Germany, the cell's floor and ceiling consist of 2 steel reinforced concrete slabs.
Dude.
All walls are built using B3 concrete blocks, weighing 10 kilograms apiece. Surrounding the primary wall is a secondary wooden wall, leaving a 60 centimeter air gap filled with
Like, I'm
sawdust.
sorry. There is so much crime. Like, you just see like this group of like 3 black guys like running into a gas station in the middle of the night, breaking the windows, taking the cash register, and then running off without a plan. That you see like when you see something like this and you see the amount of effort put into it, like how can you not just stop and admire it? Like, I know it's a bad thing, but can you not admire it? Sounds like a criminal admiring another criminal's clever work. Listen, I'm not a criminal, but this is kind of sick. They do mean the Heineken alcohol, by the way. Yeah. That's what I thought. Because I'm sorry, I've never heard someone called Heineken. You cannot convince me that a guy's name is just Heineken.
To finish it off, more layers of insulation are added onto the inside of the cells
That's not a thing.
and outside the secondary wall. Hope for escape is virtually zero.
Bro? So that's where they like leave the guy, right?
Consists of 3 phases: the abduction, the negotiations, and the ransom collection.
Abduction. All right, plan is in
The
action.
2-year operation was funded by the kidnappers with a budget of roughly 100,000 gulden. They spent hours studying famous foreign kidnappings. Each case was thoroughly discussed.
Bro, you spent time studying kidnappings, bro. They're actually putting in the work.
Playing out scenarios and the problems that they might face. Their victim had to be rich and able to pay fast. This narrowed their options.
Oh, I like the little detail how they're sitting on the
The
Heineken.
royal family and famous politicians were thrown around, but discarded. The royal family was sacred. Like any politician, it attracted too much heat. They didn't want the kidnapping to become a political statement. There was Visse Dekker, the CEO of Philips, a wealthy prospect but located in Eindhoven, too far from their home turf in Amsterdam. Anton Dreesman, director of Rome in Dreesman, was another.
What?
Babubeleganu femboy to Coney fat ass.
What? Where? What is? First off, what the hell, Fresca? Second, what is vroom vroom de stemmen? What? What is this? His last name is Heineken. The company is just named after his family.
In terms of wealth, but not in risk. He had health troubles that would be too unreliable during a long kidnapping. They didn't want to become murderers. Albert Heijn was also a...
Yeah, the fact that... Okay, that's another cool detail. The fact that they're like, yeah, we don't want to kill anyone because that would also entail like a lot of other bad stuff in trial if we ever did get caught.
His choice. The CEO of the largest supermarket chain in the Netherlands. He was rich, young, and had little security, but negotiating with a supermarket just had weird vibes. Albert Heijn was
It had weird vibes.
The CEO of DAF Trucks was also considered for a moment, but the kidnappers weren't morons. A Dutch car company. They wanted to be rich. Finally, there was Freddie Heineken, an incredibly wealthy Amsterdammer. Unlike the others, he also gave them a motive. Hollader's father gave his working life to the Heineken company, only to be fired and take out his drunken anger on the family. The choice was clear. But now the real work began.
It's like these people that put so much effort into cheating to the point where it's easy. It's easier to just study. Why don't we focus this energy into like a job, bro? You know that video?
At the scene of the abduction, the police find
kidnap people and put them on an island and then bomb them. I don't have that much money to do all that.
broken glasses, and a bag filled with Uzis.
But if I could, I would
They
probably.
also find a stolen van, which they're able to trace to a dealership. They learn that there was another stolen car, an Opel Kadett. The police are on the hunt. They now know that the organized gangsters left in haste, and there was another car waiting to be found. But this was all part of Cor von Hout's plan. The bag of Uzis wasn't found, it was planted. Cor von Hout left it so that the police thought they were dealing with a heavily armed gang from Germany, not some Dutch dudes in a shed. The glasses weren't smashed by accident, but placed strategically. Cor knew they would be studied.
Why it keeps
once
lagging?
The investigators
Hold on, why does it keep lagging? There we go.
time. He knew that the stolen van would be traced back to a dealership, where they would learn about the second stolen car, the Opel Kadett. That Opel was abandoned in a parking lot in Breda, close to the Belgian border. Once found, the police would suspect that they had left the country. Practically all their equipment, from the paper they used to the typewriters to their disguises, were all bought across the border. Any evidence that Heineken tried to take with him after the handoff would lead the wrong way.
Dude, it's like, here's the thing, right? The amount of effort that they're putting into this is just insane. Because, like, this is gonna sound insane. The best way for you to commit a murder or like a homicide, you would have to do so much, and the conditions would have to be so perfect, right? Because, for example, you can't use, if you're in a country that like guns are illegal, right? If you just go up to like a random person on the street at like during night, right, and you shoot them, that is so easy to track you down, because the police will conduct in inspection. They can find DNA. They will find, like an autopsy, right? They find DNA. They find the bullet size. If they find a bullet inside like someone's body, they can just trace it back to a certain gun, and they're like, okay, who has this gun? Like who has this gun like registered, right? Then you just go to each and every person, and then you get their alibis, right? So if you want to like do some, if you want to have like a chance, you got to make sure that you don't have any DNA on scene. If you want to do it yourself, then you have to have no DNA on scene whatsoever. So that means wearing gloves. That means wearing a full face mask with like proper glasses. That means using like full clothes, making sure that not a single piece of your skin is exposed for maximum safety. You need to use like you'd have to use like an icicle, because an icicle is an extremely like good weapon if you want to commit like something like that, if you want to do something like that, because it's very hard to trace back because it's just water. Like if you stab someone with an icicle, it'll just melt, and so there's no murder weapon, you know? Sounding more and more like a criminal. I just know like a lot of this stuff. Like if you sit down and think about it, like, oh, if I was to commit a crime, how would I get away with it? You just start getting into so many hypotheticals that you're like, okay, there is so much that you need to take into consideration, that it's just so much work. It's actually so much work. Tips and tricks for free. You're truly the goat.
They had him, and the police were following the wrong trails. The first phase of the plan, the abduction, was complete. The second began.
They did it. Those bastards, they did it.
For the negotiations, they had to communicate with the police without revealing anything. So they recorded tapes of Ab reading out their demands, which they played at random telephone booths. This prevented any negotiations from the police, forcing them to respond through newspaper ads. They created a one-way channel for communication.
Do you like look at this?
Accept or reject, but never barter. They knew how to kidnap, and they knew how to negotiate, but they had one more heavy problem to solve. Money. The larger the sum, the harder it is to move. The men calculated exactly how much 200 banknotes would weigh. They then replicated the stacks of money with equally sized blocks of wood. One mailbag filled to the brim weighed a staggering 100 kilograms, the equivalent of throwing around the weight of a limp adult male.
That's
They established
crazy.
that 5 bags was the limit of what they could carry. They counted up all the blocks. They were only 350,000 short of 35 million guilders. Exactly what they were hoping for.
You calculated how much money you could physically transport. My guy, if you go through all of this, you kind of just deserve the money at that point. You are pulling like university level, like assignment. This is like a university level study to just going into kidnapping someone. This is insane.
They knew how much money
Welcome back,
they could
Monia.
move, but now they have to solve how to move the money without getting caught. This is the handoff problem. The kidnappers want to minimize interaction with the police while receiving the ransom as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But moving half a ton of cash is easier said than done. Von Meyer suggested the first plan. The police should drop the ransom into a small boat. The boat is connected to a rope. It is then pulled across the water to the other side, where the men are hiding. No bridges are close to the location. They simply drive away. Van 't suggests that they copy the vacuum delivery system of a local department store. Dressed as roadside construction workers, the men carry half a kilometer of plastic tubing, hook it up to a vacuum machine, and suck the money through.
Bro.
They never face the cops directly. The third plan is to steal a houseboat.
Dude.
A secret tunnel is used to board the craft undetected. Once on the houseboat, they pack the money in lead casks, slowly take off, and drop them through a hole in the hull.
I'm actually shocked that these men did not get away with this. Because we know, like, their names, we know where they live, we knew all about them, right? The fact that they actually got caught is insane.
They deposit the cash at the bottom of the river, where they could later retrieve it in diving suits. They were all good options, but they weren't perfect. Van 't needed something better. A plan that would make the police squirm.
Ew, no, don't do that. They're gonna make the police squirm. Don't do this, no.
It's Tuesday, the 15th of November, 1983, 6 days after the kidnapping. The police are called and hear the voice of the chauffeur, Abdoderer.
This is an instruction for the hare from the Eagle. The hare will depart in the white VW transporter van within the next 10 minutes.
Oh.
Instruction, drive to the Hilton Hotel at Schiphol Airport. At the entrance to the hotel, you will find new instructions buried in a plastic container at the foot of the first lamppost on the right. Follow these instructions exactly. If the VW van is followed by anyone at all, it will be the end of them.
Oh my god.
And Van 't, Holleder, Boulard, and Meyer sit in a dark apartment, overseeing the Koen Tunnel Road.
Dude.
By tomorrow night, the men will be rich beyond belief. They're watching with binoculars, waiting for a police officer to drive past in a VW transporter.
Police locked in, I guess.
Mark the van with 2 large red crosses, making it easier to spot. But as the kidnappers watch, hours begin to pass. The van is still being driven by. They made it clear in their letter that if the police didn't act, Doderer and Heineke could buy back their lifeless bodies. The only explanation is that they missed the van. But that's not a problem. Brakes is still at Schiphol, waiting to call them when the police arrive. The 4 men move to the next position for the ransom handoff. A Hanomag van parked in the outskirts of Utrecht.
Of where?
As 5 a.m. passes, they still haven't received a call. When 8:30 rolls around, the men lose hope. The police aren't going to show. In a desperate play for more time, the police gambled with the lives of Doderer and Heineke.
Oh no.
Furious. The police gained.
Wait, so the police just didn't show up? That's so stupid. What? If I'm working at a police station and the guys that have pulled off this insanity of a plan are like, show up at this time today or he dies, bro, I am there like 10 minutes before.
Time that they didn't have before.
I'm there like an hour before. I'm afraid these people might know who I am.
The ransom handoff have been exposed. But if the police choose to play them for fools, they deserve the same. Van 't tells the police that they did irreparable damage to one of Heineke's and Doderer's fingers. And for 10 days, the police hear nothing. Ample time to worry about the mistake they made.
But did they actually like break his fingers?
But on the 10th day,
This is the eagle.
The fact that they also just use telephone poles as well.
These are instructions for the hare. Go to Utrecht Central Station, luggage locker 2150. Repeat, Utrecht Central Station, luggage locker 2150. Collect this assignment promptly and take it to Die Ark in Nordvik.
It's
Oh,
Sunday,
bro.
November 27th, 2:30 a.m. The police collected the assignment from the luggage locker and are sitting in the house of Heineke with an employee of the company, anxiously awaiting the next call. Cor van Hout has changed things. They are no longer the eagle.
Yeah, I guess I could understand that. Like, they took a gamble that they were too desperate to kill the kidnappers, but bro, that's still such a dangerous, like, gamble. Wasn't clarified, but I think they were bluffing and using the 10 days of silence to scare the cops.
Owl.
Ah.
The police are no longer the hare, but the mouse.
These are instructions for the mouse.
This is the owl. This is a
The
telephone
owl?
instruction for the driver, the mouse. Make notes. The driver, the mouse, will leave within 10 minutes in the orange Renault van with the 5 bags of ransom money. Instruction: the mouse drives to the Euro Motel on the A4 just past Schiphol in the direction of Amsterdam. Near the entrance to the Euro Motel, further instructions are buried under the right-hand lamppost. Follow these instructions precisely. Is this understood, and will this be carried out? Answer immediately with yes or no.
Yes, the instructions are understood. We are ready to leave.
If anybody follows the orange van, all deals will be cancelled forever.
A police officer follows the first set of instructions.
Dude.
At the Euro Motel,
Another, like, awesome thing is that all of their, like, negotiations were all Heineken reading out loud the instructions. It's so sick.
finds a note along with photos of Heineke and Doderer holding recently issued newspapers.
Drive to the southern province of Brabant, to the Texaco gas station called Zevenbergse Hoek, alongside the A16 motorway between Breda and Dordrecht.
Upon arrival, the mouse is told to order a cup of coffee and wait for the call from the kidnappers.
Follow the road to Breda. A plastic container is buried under a milestone along the way.
Retrieving the letter, the mouse reads,
Drive toward Antwerp in Belgium and take the Rijsbergen turnoff.
Okay, bro, you're telling me to do too much. I'm sorry. You're actually telling me to go on, like, the One Piece adventure, bro. No, this is doing too much.
Via Tilburg.
Go here, go there, go over there. No, actually, go back. Oh, you thought I was there? Look behind you.
A27. After taking the De Meern turnoff.
Look at this, bro. You have me traveling half of Europe?
Towards Bizet Avenue in the Utrecht neighborhood Velgelegen.
Oh, hell no.
Instructions are buried close to a numbered lamppost in the area of De Hommel restaurant.
Digging up the plastic container, the mouse finds another note. In the
After 20 hours of road tripping, they found a buried note, and under a lamppost where the mouse or where the owl told them they would find one of Heineken's fingers.
Car keys.
And there it was, Heineken's left testicle.
Transfer the ransom from your car into the Ford. Then take the Auden.
A vacation in disguise, yeah. The most stressful vacation ever. If you don't get to a city that's 3 hours away in less than 3 hours, the guy's dead.
Motel in Arnhem to await further instructions. On the front seat next to you is a walkie-talkie under a piece of cloth. It is turned on. Remove the cloth, but do not touch the walkie-talkie. It is strictly prohibited for you to touch the walkie-talkie. Any instructions given to the mouse, the driver by the owl, have absolute priority and must be carried out immediately. The owl.
The green Ford Taunus was easy enough to spot. A woman's bicycle was strapped to the roof. Although the officer couldn't see it, it also had a single French headlight, which emitted a distinct yellow glow compared to the usual white. It was now almost 7 a.m., and the driver had been on the road for hours with no end in sight.
Poor guy, the one cop that had to do all this. Oh, poor guy, he's been driving for the whole, like, 24 hours.
He drives over the Maarsbergen overpass.
This is the owl with instructions for the mouse. This message has priority. This message has absolute priority. This is the owl with instructions for the mouse. Reduce speed to 60 kilometers per hour and follow the crash barrier. Stop at the red road cones. Put the bags containing the money into the hole that you will find there. Afterwards, follow your instructions. This message has absolute priority. This message has absolute priority.
Okay, bro, I heard you the first
officer
50
slows down,
times.
spots the cones and comes to a dead stop. In front of him is a hole. Cor von Hout's plan was an elaborate scavenger hunt. He would lead the police down various twists and turns for hours, constantly keeping him moving. Only to jump on the mouse at the last moment. The police officer did not stop at a river, a set of vacuum tubes, or a houseboat. He stops at an overpass.
There they were.
It was found after driving more than 1,000 kilometers across the Netherlands.
1,000 kilometers? You had me driving 1,000 kilometers. This message has absolute priority.
An overpass that met a few very specific conditions.
What were the conditions, bro? What were these conditions?
Standing on the edge of a field around 800 meters from the overpass, he is equipped with binoculars and a walkie-talkie. This vantage point means he can easily see the approaching car, but he's also visible to helicopters. Since he's located near an army base, the men decide to disguise him in an army uniform, both for camouflage from above and as a convenient excuse in case he runs into a farmer or hiker. Jan Boelaert, driver. Boelaert is behind the wheel of the getaway van. As the mouse approaches, he slowly drives the Hanemag under the overpass to ensure that it cannot be spotted from above. Frans Meyer, spotter 2. Frans gets out of the Hanemag and crouches in some nearby bushes. He watches the overpass, ensuring that the police officer is not followed, and letting the rest know over the walkie-talkie once he has left. Cor von Hout. Von Hout is sitting in the back of the van, ready to grab the cash. He hears the mailbag slide down the storm drain into the underpass. As Cor exits the vehicle, he hears the faint sounds of helicopters overhead.
Oh no.
Within 30 seconds, all 5 are in the van. Frans quickly checks that the mouse has left. They had chosen a stretch of highway without a roundabout close by, ensuring he could not turn around and come back.
That's smart.
It's a tense drive. There's no sign they are being followed, and within 10 minutes they reach their final destination, a forest clearing near Zeist. The transfer happens in one smooth motion. Boelaert takes his foot off the gas, shifts down, and uses his handbrake to prevent the brake lights from turning on. If anyone was watching, they wouldn't know that the car had briefly stopped. Just slow enough to hop out, Meyer and von Hout pull out the cash as he drives off with the van.
Bro.
They quickly pull the 5 mailbags over to where they buried several large plastic drums. Removing the top layer of dirt, they take out 2 sleeping bags and spread them over the forest floor. Sliced open with a penknife, 2 of the bag's contents are emptied and scanned with a frequency detector, stashed in the drums beforehand. They scan for any tracking devices hidden in the cache.
What is a frequency detector? Is that the type of thing that they use in like ghost hunting? Is that what that is?
The sound of helicopters seem to come closer and closer.
Dude.
As the bags are dropped into the drums, each man removes his disguise. Wigs, gloves, and bulletproof vests join the weapons, coats, and other equipment already in the drum.
Bulletproof vests, my guy.
Cor kneels down and pushes dirt over the lids. Frans places leaves and branches on top. The drums are nearly impossible to spot. Under their jackets,
they come back like a few days later to get the money. They can't find it.
Already wearing a race biking outfit. Recovering 2 silver race bikes from a nearby bush, the men hop on and get on the road.
This is
After 2 years of planning and 2 long weeks of
so complex.
It was over. Cor von Hout, Willem Holleder, Frans Meyer, Jan Boelaert, and Martin Erkamps had executed the most elaborate kidnapping scheme in European history. Adjusted for inflation, they collected a staggering 74.6 million euros.
Until they were caught.
Until now, everything seemed and was orchestrated perfectly.
Until the nose had made the fatal mistake. The money had a tracking device that was new technology from the army that couldn't be picked up by frequency detectors.
But they missed something. On the 16th of November, the Heineken Corporation received a letter the police later called Item 547. It mentioned three names in connection with the wood workshop at the Heining: Cor van Hout, Jan Boelaert, and Frans Meijer. The tipster also mentioned their business dealings. This tip was never released to the public, but it led to the eventual capture of all suspects.
Dude.
It's speculated that during the kidnapping, the police had no substantial leads. It was the golden tip that actually brought the group into light. Whether the police would have eventually found them without it is a different matter.
I don't think they would have. I really don't think they would have.
They would have had otherwise. The anonymous tip came one day after the first ransom rally should have taken place. The police's gamble paid off. If the ransom drop-off had gone according to the plan of Cor van Hout, they had 24 hours before the police even got the tip, giving them a much better chance for escape.
What?
2 days after they hid the cash, Cor van Hout starts to notice that he's being followed by undercover police. Realizing that they've been found out, the men go back to retrieve 15 of the 35 million guilders, splitting it between the 5 of them. They then parted ways, promising each other that they would meet up again, as they always did, on New Year's Day in 1983 to retrieve the rest of the money. Jan Boelaert and Martin Erkamps were arrested first. Intercepted by police on their way to free Heineken and Doderer, they still had their split of cash on them, which was confiscated.
How long?
Was sentenced to 12 years in 1984.
12 years?
Due to his more limited involvement, Martin Erkamps was sentenced to 8 years.
More limited involvement still gets 8 years.
On Monday, December 5th, 1983, the rest of the ransom money, along with all other heist equipment, was found. According to police, a hiker had allegedly stumbled across several packs of 200 $100 bills. Frans Meijer turned himself in on December 28, 1983, after allegedly burning 3 million guilders in a manic frenzy, which funnily enough is only half of what he, according to Cor van Hout, had with him.
What?
Due to his psychological state during the first span of his incarceration, Frans was eventually put in the Pieterbaan Center for Psychological Evaluation. He managed to escape from the center and fled to Paraguay, where he started a family and ran a restaurant for many years. He was eventually tracked down in 1995 by Dutch crime journalist Peter R. de Vries.
What?
In 2002, he was extradited to the Netherlands.
This man committed the most elaborate kidnapping in history, got away with how many millions, burnt half of it, went to a psych ward, escaped the psych ward, went to Paraguay, started a family, and then got caught by the police. That is so awesome.
Where he served until his release in 2005.
That is sick.
Willem Holleder.
Oh, that's awesome.
The police until the 29th of February, 1984. They had fled to Paris together, but they were eventually traced back to their friend's apartment through phone calls they had made to loved ones in the Netherlands. Cor van Hout was assassinated on the 24th of January 2003 in Amstelveen. The perpetrator was convicted in January 2019. His former best friend, Willem Holleder, the nose.
Oh, bro. Ah, that's the end. Damn, that was really cool. That was that was the best part. Man did all of that only to get caught in the end. That's crazy. Also, I didn't really understand that tip. Who gave them the tip? Because that was the only way that they like actually got caught, right? The tip may have been the nose or the guy who went into the psych ward. Oh, it was one of the two. Ah, a snitch. I see. So yeah, it was probably the guy that went into the psych ward. Yeah, I think it was probably him. Damn, the nose guy killed the other guy, and the other guy was clearly going through it. Yeah. Oh, damn, that was really interesting. Damn, WLE robot recommendation. That was great.